Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea, and I'm from Lithuania.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Julia Mattox, and I'm a student at St. Edward's College in Malta.
Hello, my name is Patrick.
And I'm Anya.
We are delighted with the possibility of being here with you today.
We are looking forward to an amazing day of getting to know each other and working together on current, very relevant issues in the European Union. Thank you very much.
Britain became a member 43 years ago in 1973, and now Britain has to decide whether it wants to stay or leave. And since a referendum is going to take place in a few weeks, I think it's a good thing that we have an opportunity of discussing the future of the Union, its position with regard to migration, security, human rights, and young people, because it has a great impact on our generation, since we're moving towards belonging to a worldwide community as we grow up.
I think that we are the living example of the slogan Unity in Diversity, because even though we have different talents like art, like music, architecture, and visual arts, united we can build a better future.
Only 25 years ago, Vukovar was completely razed to the ground. In 1991, it was the site of the largest massacre in the Croatian War for Independence. You can see the symbol of Vukovar, the water tower here, as it stands today. 2,000 people were killed that day, and since then, things haven't been looking good for Vukovar. The recovery is slow and very painful. All the memories are still present in all the people who experienced that war. But we here from the Vukovar Gymnasium represent the future of Vukovar, and maybe things will be looking better from now on, as we are here today with you, the brightest in Europe, taking part in this simulation of the European Parliament. Thank you.
I want to ask if you believe if more countries join the European Union, its function will get better or no?
Recently, we've all been frightened by the terrorist attacks in Brussels, Paris and London. I would like to know what the European Union is doing to combat all forms of extremism.
What Europe is doing to increase the fertility rate of Europeans, because in my opinion it's a huge issue, and it saddens me to say this, that Europe is on a path to self-destruction because of such a low fertility rate. Thank you.
What do you think will happen if a member state, country from the EU, exits from the EU? Something that is impossible according to the Maastricht Agreement. But not only on the economic level, also on the political and the social level.
What do you think about a united European fiscal policy, and will it ever happen?
We are all talking about a united Europe, a united European Union. And I'm pretty sure that everyone is aware of the refugees problem. So, do you think, or actually, do you feel satisfied with the role and the actions of European Union? Don't you think that European Union rejects some people that we're not actually family?
How do you think that European Union could keep peace among the citizens at the time that around us there is war and the terrorists insert in Europe, as just closing the borders isn't the solution?
Is the European Union working for the rich and not the poor in Europe?
When we talk about the future aspects of the EU, do you think that introducing the common laws, the laws that all of the member states should function by, hypothetically, completely forgetting their own ones, the laws they functioned by before, is possible, and what are the possible advantages and disadvantages?
You mentioned we need migrants in order to keep population increase rate relatively stable. However, considering some recent events, the European Union obviously has a problem with its integration policies when it comes to minor communities and refugees. What measures are to be taken in order to prevent further conflicts? Thank you.
The European Union should implement legislation against certain abhorrent goods and services. It should also raise indirect taxes on non-environmentally friendly goods to discourage consumption. Government subsidies for research and development of more advanced and efficient renewable technology should be increased, as well as providing government subsidies for locally run sustainable projects within local communities. We believe that the EU Commission should also provide tax relief for firms and businesses, both large and small, that produce environmentally friendly and sustainable goods and services, as a financial incentive to increase their supply in the current market. Socially, local governments across the European Union should increase school involvement when addressing the issue of increasing environmental awareness. This should be done by increasing interactive discussion and campaigns highlighting issues of sustainability within the younger generation. Finally, we advocate an increase in EU negotiations with world powers concerning sustainable development to forge new international policies as a part of a collective effort to preserve our planet. Thank you.
Are you aware that some countries in the EU, like Bulgaria, don't have a good economy and don't have a lot of resources? And as of now, a lot of Bulgarians think of leaving the EU because of exactly these legislations that stop business from developing. Like, for example, a lot of people in my hometown can't start their businesses because the EU is already giving them all of these things that they have to follow. And like you're talking like that the EU is like the world's strongest economy. Okay, but there are different countries in the EU who are small, who don't have that much money, who aren't corporately well off. Don't you believe that you can put everyone under the same economical situation?
I completely agree that blanket policies across different socioeconomic backgrounds aren't going to have a positive effect on the EU and for certain countries within it. However, this might cross into financial aid within the EU, but because we want to promote collectiveness and being together as part of this collective. So within that is supporting different members who might be struggling financially. And so with policies dictating what businesses can and can't do, if we provide financial support and subsidies within countries that are struggling financially, then hopefully, we can find something that works for everyone.
We decided that human rights is for all, and therefore, European Union should inform and communicate and educate about these rights so that they will not be violated. By protecting human rights, the European Union should, in order to this, be critical on our actions as a part of the Western world and try to make better, especially with post-colony countries, and aware of how the West has treated those. The European Union should also not close the borders to migrants and instead show them solidarity and not leave them on their own. The European Union should also work preventative against corruption, but also terrorism, and limitations on human rights is never the way to prevent terrorism. We would also like the European Union to protect the freedom of speech, but also to hold a critical eye on how it can be used to discriminate, for example. We would need to be aware and critical, but still not limit this basic human rights.
So first, we think that we should give money to countries of Europe or of the world that have some difficulties and to help them to improve their life. But we think too that the European Union should decide how this money should be used, and so to create a plan to help those developing countries to improve their way of living. And we think too that the Europe should sponsorize the building of infrastructures in poor countries of the world for more equality, you know, for school, hospital, and roads, because some countries have money to do that. And we think that we should send resources and money to do that, and not workers, you know, to create jobs for those countries, and so to help those people to improve themselves, their way of living, and not to give it all to them like that. And finally, we think that there are lots of little companies in Africa, and that we should help those small companies, because if we help those little companies, they can fight the crisis, they can create jobs, and so they can improve the condition of living of the population. And if there is a better condition of living, those people can send their children to school. And if those children has an education, they can find a better job. And so it would be better for the country.
These small countries and the companies in these poor countries, how should we help them? Should we just give them money, or should we provide materials to build them up?
We can help those little companies with money, okay, or maybe with some ideas. You know, in Europe, for example, we have a lot of transnational companies, and they are quite successful for a lot, and so they have ideas to improve their economical system. So maybe we can make those transnational companies work with those little companies, you know, like with a fair trade, for example.
A single European identity and a single European system of law and education. We believe that this will provide opportunity for everyone. We believe that this will provide an equal opportunity for growth and for development of every single European citizen. This will lead to free tuitions in your universities. We believe that free tuitions in your universities will give more benefits than minuses. We believe that this will be provided by increased taxation, and we believe that we should implement English as a main language, not in general, but in the school curriculum. We believe that there are countries around the European Union that want to be in the European Union, but they are not developed enough. We believe that we should help them reach the certain point of gradually developed place. And when they reach the certain point of acceptance, they will be granted European citizenship, they will be granted a place among the European family. Thank you for all.
Hey, so you mentioned that you should implement English as the main language in schools. Have you considered that if you implement English and not another language, like the local language, that they would lose so much culture, because you transmit culture through language. So if you have one common language, which is great basically because you could understand everyone, but you would lose so much of your background information, and you would lose so much of your traditions and everything. Did you consider that?
Actually, you misunderstood. I meant to say that we should implement English as a part of the school curriculum. That doesn't mean that we're making English as a main language. We're just making it that every single European state should learn English, because we believe that English is the best way of communication between countries that usually cannot.
During the debates, we talk about migration, and everyone was agreed that we have to help to integrate the migrants, not just because of solidarity or because we have the same values, but because they can be useful. Like as we said this morning, the population of the Europe is becoming very old. So maybe we can accept like some not old refugees, so it can make the population be not old. And we agree that the migration is beneficial for economies, because if we give them an education, they can have a job, and it's beneficial for the economy. We said that we could, just for the security, had much more outposts to have their identity. We said that we should give a political voice to the refugees and the migrants. We said that we should redistribute the migrants in the Europe, and if we said that integration is great, but it's pretty difficult, not just for political reasons, but for economic reasons too. So we could invest in their homeland, and we can improve their home condition, so they wouldn't come here, and it's helpful for us. And we said that we could help us just with banal ways, just to help each other.
We think that the schools would provide a short time of period to the students, and during that period, which would be about maybe 2 weeks, they would work as normal adults do every day, but they wouldn't get any salary. This would give the students some experience that they could put in their curriculum vitae, and then the future company they will be seeking could see that they have had some experience during their lifetime. The next thing we propose is that a certain % of the employees at a company would have to be under the age of 25. If the company wouldn't have this %, they would have to pay more taxes to the government. That would easily create a job for the youth. And the last thing we propose is that EU would provide a website for the job seekers. It would create a connection between the employers and the job seekers. They could easily search which job they want to have, or the job seekers could put in the country they like to work in. And then the employers would put in all their contact information. This would make it really easy for us, the youth, to find new jobs. And not only in our own country, but also in the entire European Union. And that would also be very helpful, because we the youth, are very familiar with the new technology.
Hello, my name is Victor and I come from Spain. My question is, in a country like mine, which has a really high rate of unemployment, especially between young people, which is around 60% of unemployed people, how will you get every young person or every student to work for a period of 2 weeks if you can even get to work for real qualified people?
This website that we talked about, that would show what kind of possibilities everyone have. And maybe a lot of the youth don't even know that it's what EU has to offer and what the world has to offer to you. It would bring awareness to the one that wants the awareness and haven't heard about it before.